And so it's that body awareness for me, just being aware of my body and what my body does. Checking in when I work out, I'm checking into the muscles and feeling like, oh, look at this thing. I'm
Hmm.
at this conference right now, and so I have to do a lot of peopling, and I have to network, and I have to do, this is a very professional conference. This is the president of Delta is here, and all
Yeah.
the things, and I look like this, right?
Yeah.
And so though this feels good for me, there is still that, like, am I going to be received well? Are they gonna
Hmm.
hear what I do professionally and not put me back inside of that box? And so we got up this morning and meditated,
Yeah.
because centering and what's that curiosity, what is me saying to me about me, what are those messages? We went
Yeah.
to the gym, we checked in, look at all the magical things your body can do. Girl, look how low you got in that squat. Girl, you are dope, right? And
Yes.
then after the shower, there's a whole full length mirror, and we check in with the parts, and we
Mhm.
and we dance and we move, and the music is in. And so all of those things is just showing up loving on me. There's a variety of things that I do depending on the space, but it all centers in just checking in with me, one, with curiosity, and two, with truth, right? Because no matter what's happening, what is true is I'm peeking over the balcony at 40, and all of this has carried me for 40 years. All of
Yeah.
this has gotten me every opportunity I've ever had. All of this has gotten me every piece of joy, every dollar, every love, every hug. All of that has come from me,
Yes.
right? So she dope, even if you don't think she's
Yes.
dope, right? And so checking into that, and that's a me to me. Like my earrings are love letters to myself, right?
Oh
This
my
is
gosh, they're so cute.
thank you, a local artist in Birmingham. Maybe I'll post her somewhere. You'll find out.
Yes. Please do.
But that just that at the center is just checking in with self, and centering on, even when I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dope. Look
Yeah.
at, okay, your arm is getting a little chunkier than you expected, but I remember my auntie telling me, "Oh, you got my mama's arm. Oh, these my great grandmama arms. Oh," and her talking about how loved she felt in her mom's arms. Like, I earned
Mhm.
these arms through my bloodline. These arms were passed down to me. How dare I not love them with the love that was gifted to me? I
Yeah.
wouldn't exist without some form of love, right?
Yeah.
love love had to be passed for me to exist here. And so centering in that all the time, every day. It's a daily, there's something I do every day to intentionally love on myself.
Thank you so much for sharing that. There was a lot of beautiful, beautiful gold in there. The self-talk piece is such a big piece of what I focus on a lot too, because I don't think that many women realize how well, I think they realize how important self-talk is, but I don't think that they realize how shitty their own self-talk is. That's the place. And that there's two sides to every, I mean, there could be multiple sides to everything, but especially when it comes to our self-talk can very quickly and I think very easily go to the negative side of things like that, right? And this checking in with yourself process that you're doing is, yes, checking in with yourself, but also checking in with the way that you're talking to yourself, the way that you're perceiving yourself, and making sure that what's coming out of your thought, I said, I was going to say your mouth, but like your thought process, or your mouth too,
Yeah,
what you're
it can
saying
come
to
up.
yourself. So no, yeah, it can come out of both. But that we're managing that we're putting that in check, because one of the things that I say about self-talk is you are the only person that can change that voice for yourself. You can think that like your partner knows you better than yourself, or something that they say to you means more to you, or that there are other voices in your life that are too loud and they're louder than your self-talk, but that's not true. Okay, the loudest voice that
That
you
is
have is your own, and the only person that can change it is you. So if you don't take the time to do that, you're living with this talk that isn't motivating or confident or self-loving. And if you're in that place where, like, you look at your arms and you're saying all these negative things about your arms, and you don't take a second to go, hey, these arms bring in love. These arms help me carry things. These arms are a part of my being, like
Me
that
create
it can
what
be
would I
so
do without
detrimental
these
to you. What did you say?
arms? These arms create magic. What would I be without these arms?
Right, right. And imagine how much more magic they could make if you showed them love on a regular basis instead of dogging on them, making fun of them. Even the comment that your family member made could have been seen as like this negative put down. And instead, it's not a negative put down, it's a gift from my lineage, my gift from my
True.
ancestors.
It was an interesting space. It's such a landmark memory because at that moment, so my thighs and my arms don't fit the rest. Like they're like, what happened? And
The rest of
well,
your body.
teeny tiny 80 pounds with thigh rub. Like, girl, you 80 pounds. Why wear dresses? What's happening? But my gym regimen was, I was in it and I had just got out of the shower and I had just done all my body was like, oh, she cute. And I had my little sports bra and my shorts and I come sashaying out and my aunt says what she actually said was, oh, you got fat arms just like I'm in the gym 6 days a week.
What?
What? Excuse me? And but before I could even express a feeling or emotion, she was like, "Man, I miss my mom. Man, I miss my mom, and I miss just being able to sit under my mom." And it's like, wait, and that moment of because though her words hit a place because I can remember the first time I looked in a picture and was like, "You 100 pounds, but your arms look like you about 150 pounds. What is happening?
Yeah.
What is that?" And I can remember precisely the moment that I first looked at my arms and thought, "How is how is
Like
this a
negatively
thing?"
about them.
And so that immediate turnaround of where these came from gave me something to hold on to it and be. And no,
Good.
I still do all my things because I like my muscles to be like I love it.
Yes.
However, at any given moment when it's not, I can anchor back to
Mm.
that. I don't allow myself to talk down in that space. And I can probably tell you some similar story for every piece of me, whether or not it came from me or someone saying something that affirmed something in me.
And the one thing that I just want all of our listeners to understand is that this is also something that you can do with and for yourself. I check Amber Rose on the daily. If I say something to myself that is hurtful or mean, I'm like, wow, that was not nice. That was very mean, Amber Rose. And I actually do the okay, well, now you have to say three nice things about yourself and
I,
mean
I
it.
do. I have a niceness sandwich.
Yeah. Like you have to do it. And you have to do it. And I think that the most important part of that is being able to check yourself, right? To being able to say, that was really mean. And it's not something that I would say to somebody else. So why is it that I'm saying it to myself? And then being like, instead of saying that, I am going to say something that is positive to myself. Because those are the mental shifts. You were talking about habits, and I talk a lot about mental habits, right? So I think habits they get a bad rap because everyone's like, habits, habits, habits. I don't want to hear about them anymore. And like we talk so much about physical habits, going to the gym, eating well, all this stuff. But I'm like, mental habits are a thing too. And when you realize that your mental habits are much more controllable than you think, you begin getting into thinking patterns and feeling patterns that can really change your freaking life. And if that means having more authenticity and authority in who you are and expressing yourself in colorful, beautiful, out of the box, different kinds of ways, that means having more self-confidence and more self-validation. Why would you not want to build those mental and emotional habits? Legit. We're in a world
It's
where you want, I know you all want them.
it just feels so much better over here. Just
It really
and trust
does.
and this is a life body of work, right? A lifetime body of work. And I still like I wish that I could tell you, oh, I never talked down to myself. I
Oh,
never
it's just part
said
of the
a
human
negative
experience,
about myself. And I know that
really.
on purpose every single day. That's false. But what I can also tell you is because that's false. I know the difference in how that feels energetically, and
Yeah.
I know how that affects my life
Yeah.
in all the ways. I can for sure point out times where I am living in that bubble and I allow it to go too far, and how much it affects so many
Mhm.
things. Yeah.
And I like, you do not want to learn from someone who pretends that they have rainbows shining out of their ass every minute of every day. That is not somebody that you can learn real life mental, emotional skills from. If they're trying to pretend like every single minute of their day is positive, in alignment, full of love and life and everything, I'm not learning with you. You don't know what it's like to
But
be
then
a
you
human
can't
in the
teach me
real
how.
world.
Right, you can't teach me how to get out of my negative self-talk if you never have it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.